Okay, class, special announcement just for my honor students. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something different we're going to do this quarter. So there'll be an announcement that I'll do about third quarter versus fourth quarter and some of the differences. But essentially, fourth quarter is going to be a much more traditional quarter, if not brief. And that means that you'll need to do your essay. But I have to walk that fine line between what I feel is my obligation to help you continue to become better writers. Some of you are great writers already. All of you are smart, but you just need a little help sort of articulating some of your great thoughts. But I also have to balance that with, we are in a worldwide pandemic, so I don't really want to stress you out. But there's a fine line between not stressing you out and not helping you grow. So this is the compromise I've come up with. All of you are good document of the week writers. So we're done. We're done with the traditional document of the week in honors. I may even forget and post it. I'm just telling you right now, I won't have it in the gradebook for honors as normally you would think it would be. What we're going to do is, I think the majority of you who struggle writing a good essay struggle because you're not taking your time. You're not organized. And what I'm going to do is basically stretch out this essay into 5 documents of the week. I'm, instead of assigning a 50-point essay, going to assign week 1, the intro. Week 2, body paragraph 1. Week 3, body paragraph 2. So on and so forth. For those of you who are good essay writers, this is a piece of cake. This is no big deal. This has just made your life way easier. For those of you who have struggled, you're going to see that if you actually take your time and you write that thesis first, you write a really good intro, that next paragraph's really easy to write. And it also will help if you've struggled, because what can happen is, let's say you don't do it well, you don't have very good facts to back up your first body paragraph. You can go, oh no, Penrose just took away all my points because I didn't cite any of my data, and it could be a 0 out of 10 instead of losing, 30 points out of 50 if you didn't do it in the rest of the essay. So you're going to get a lot more immediate feedback. That's my compromise for you. I just think it's going to help you. It's going to keep you on track to continue to grow as writers, but it's going to be a little bit more meaningful, and we can just do away with those documents of the week. For honor students, it's become redundant anyway. You're fine. Now, you may be selfishly thinking to yourself, and I don't blame you, wait, I have a document of the week pass. How's that going to work? Right now, I have Zoe, Ryan, Kathleen, and Sophia as having virtual document of the week passes, meaning I have them on my guide here, and they're entitled to a 10 out of 10 anytime. And you'll probably notice, because the shirt and tie will be the same, I'm going to draw another name in a little bit for another one. Those still count, with one exception. In other words, I'm going to let you use a document of the week pass to get a 10 out of 10 on any essay portion except the intro and thesis. Intro and thesis is so important, I just can't let anyone use their passes there. But if you've earned a pass, that means you've done something. I mean, actually, all of those kids I just named helped me in the very beginning sort of cobble through this whole Google Classroom, and so did some others. And so I want to make sure you still get that reward. Other than the intro and thesis, at any point, if Ryan says, I don't want to write the conclusion, he could say, apply my document of the week pass to the conclusion, and he gets a 10 out of 10, just as if it was a document of the week assignment, and so can anybody else. But I won't let anybody do that for the intro and the thesis, because the intro and thesis are so critical to get an essay done. I don't know how you really write a good one without doing that. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. You can message me directly and I'll clear up anything on that. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So what will the last essay be about? This was always going to be this way. You are going to have a lot more freedom to choose here. You have the option of either writing a biography or an essay about basically protest music, or I shouldn't say protest music, music of the topics of the era. Now, if you want to do the biography, I am limiting you to the names that I'm going to provide. There should be a link to a Google document. And basically, you can just be the first person in the comments below this posting to say, not on YouTube, but on Google Classroom. You could say, oh, I want this person. And because it's time stamped, if you're the first person to claim that person, you get to write the biography about that person. These are lesser known civil rights activists, as opposed to, Dr. King is not on the list. It's too easy, frankly. Now, if you want to do the music, that's a little bit more open-ended. I do not have a list of songs because there are hundreds of songs that you could use that would be valid. So in this particular case, what I want you to do is choose any 60s or early 70s, let's say 1975 or earlier, any song that deals with civil rights, women's rights, Hispanic American rights, Native American rights, youth rights, hippies in general, hippie culture, such as anything to do with drugs or the establishment. I mean, you've got a lot of leeway here. And it does not have to be, I wanted to add in, it doesn't have to be protests. I know that some of you would not approve of many of the protests that the hippies had, and that's fine. There are a few, for example, pro-Vietnam War songs. Not a lot. I will admit there's a lot more protest songs, but if you want to pick a song that supports the soldiers and celebrates the cause, I can think of one in particular, of the Vietnam War, you are more than welcome to do that song. And then I'll get into the details of how to write the biography or how to write the song a little bit later on. But again, what I want you to do is in the comments, if you're the first person to say Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival, then you get that song. And then that's what will be the focus. Well, again, we'll go through the rubric later, but that will be the focus of your next 5 weeks of your fake document of the weeks, which are really 5 chunks of essays. But make sure I put in the comments after a song that I approved it. I'm not doing that to over control you. I'm making sure that you could accidentally pick some song that you think is a protest song, but turns out just to be sort of a typical fluff pop song. And, Twist and Shout. The Beatles have some protest songs that are good, but if you do Twist and Shout, the Beatles cover, that I'm not going to accept that because it's not really about anything that is significant to this era, any of those topics I just mentioned. So that's the only reason I want to make sure you see that I approve you, and I will keep a running tally, and I'll say, oh, I approve, good choice, or whatever. So make sure you get that, okay? And we're not going to stress about this, but I need you to pick the topic by next Friday. So that would be, this is, in my world, Thursday the 23rd. So by next Friday, May 1st, you have to have your topic selected. If you don't have it selected, I'll select for you. And I have some mean songs I can choose. So make sure you get your topic selected by May 1st. And then that following Friday, the thesis would be due. But of course, in the meantime, I'm going to explain to you how to do the essay, what the rubric will be all about. Okay? Hope that makes sense. If not, message me. We can set up a Zoom, whatever. No problem. Everybody stay safe out there and have a good one.